And the answer is 5. Ooh, that's a positive sign. That's awesome. I'm not going to make any more predictions. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey everyone, Noah from Rarity7 here. In this video, we are going to look at a whole bunch of coins I sent off to CAC. We're going to check how they did by opening up the box. And here's the key. CAC has been wonderful enough to give us feedback on the coins that don't make the grade. Normally, you just find out a sticker or no sticker. Here, we're actually going to learn why the coins that don't make it. So it's really educational. I hope you guys will enjoy this. And we've done this a few times. Let's do it again. We're going to get started right out of the gate with an 1806 half cent. Ah, beautiful. I don't remember whether this is my coin or somebody else's coin. I know there's a few coins that I sent in here for Nick, and I have no idea whose is whose, but I like it. Looking at this 1806 half cent, it's certainly got some nice luster on it. I forgot to look at the grade. It is a MS62. Okay. You know, it's got some nice luster. It's got a good look for an MS62. Let's see how we're doing here. Let's get the game started. Our coin cam is here. And let's start off by seeing how this first coin of the night, let's see how we're going out of the gate, is negative, obverse wear, and no luster. Well, there's your answer. Now, I'm going to disagree. I can kind of understand the obverse wear thing. As we pull into this, you can see that there is a little bit of rub. And NGC does like to net grade, you know, nice 58s. I'm going to disagree with no luster because I can actually see the cartwheel as I twirl the coin right here. So I think what he probably meant to say was not enough luster. You want to see real. I mean, there is luster. I can see it as I'm twirling the coin. You can kind of, there you go, see in the reverse there. There's nice luster there, and as you twirl in the cartwheels here, there is cartwheel. But I think the translation for this is a AU58 coin that NGC gave a 62, and at least according to John. So that's it. Okay, I like the coin. Don't remember whether it's mine or not, but that goes in the no pile for the evening. Let's move this over here to our no pile so we can remember how miserable we are. All right. Next is a 1798 large cent VF25 second hairstyle. I'm kind of mid on this coin. I think I'm going to vote no. I like the coin. I'm basically going to buy any really nice pre-1800 that has a reasonable look to it. This has got a little bit of that splotchy look to it. I'm going to probably vote no on this. I think this is probably a JA environmental. It doesn't, he likes that. You can kind of see it right here when I stop it. It's got a little bit of that kind of blotchy look, which I think is environmental stuff that's, been, you know, blue ribboned or otherwise. So I think I'm going to have to vote no on that one. But, you know, as we always like to say, what do I know? And here we go. And the answer is a red sticker. The prediction is he's going to say environmental, and that is the answer. It's got environmental damage. Now, again, I'm not 100% sure I would call this environmental damage. I think it's got some environmental effects that have happened to it. I mean, it's certainly changed the surfaces a little bit so that you see. It's still an incredibly pleasant looking coin for a pre-1800 large cent. But CAC has very, very strict standards. We want to make sure that these coins that get the green sticker are the best of the best, and things like environmental damage are going to be no-goes. So a fair response on that one. I cannot argue with CAC on that one. Okay, third out of the gate is a 1873 Doubled Liberty. Man, this coin is terrific. I like this one. Double Liberty is like a super cool, it's very obvious double die. You know, I'm a nerd for cool double dies, and this one is about as cool as they get, you know, next to the, 55 double die Lincoln Cent. But man, this is a great look on this coin. Very original. XF40, very, very solid coin. So I'm going to vote yes on that one. I like it. I could see why it's not the most perfect XF40 that I've ever seen. So if we don't get a sticker, I could certainly understand why. We want to have high standards on this stuff. John Albany says no on this one, and the answer is too much obverse wear. Okay, so a nice coin that he doesn't like is a 40, which is pretty much where it comes. He wants to see this a little bit stronger. That is, it's a tough one. So fair enough. I mean, it's a little bit nitpicky, but you know what? We really wanna get these right, and I think he'd like to see a little bit sharper. He probably would want to see those feather tips showing a little bit more detail on that coin to make it a true CAC 40. Tough crowd. That is exactly correct. Otherwise, delightful coin, but tough crowd on that one. All right, 1877 Indian in AG. Rim blending, that's fine. Full date, full United States, definitely a little bit more wear towards the right half of the coin. Is it quite a fair? No, it's pretty solid, about good. Nice reverse, a lot of wear on the obverse, but nice reverse, telltale weak middle N. I could see this coin going either way. I could certainly see it with a sticker, and I could see it not. By the way, quick little side, I'm going to note, I think a lot of the coins I sent tonight, I remember as I was reviewing them, a lot of these were like borderline stuff. I kind of thought, a lot of these could really go either way, which frankly is a little bit more interesting. It's less profitable, but it's certainly more interesting to send borderline stuff. So we'll see. Let's see what we have to say on the NGC. Now, there's also our NGC bias, and we don't love that, but let's see what we have to say on the NGC. AG3, yeah, he says it's good enough. Our first sticker of the night. So there's your answer for what a nice, solid AG3 1877 Indian is going to look like. So nice, solid coin, no major problems, a lot of wear on the obverse, very nice reverse, smooth surfaces, and that is a sticker-worthy coin. So our first win of the night goes to an NGC AG3. There we go. Nice. We learned something right off the bat. Too much wear in an XF, not too much wear for an AG3. Here's an 1879 in MS65 red brown. That is very, very pretty. Look at that coin. That is delightful looking. Look at the luster on that. Look at the color on that. And that is a little slab smudge on the reverse, but man, that is a very, very, very pretty coin. So I would have to go with a strong yes on this 1879 in MS65 red brown. It is very, very beautiful, but we'll see what CAC says. And CAC says, uh-oh, we're in for a tough night. I have a feeling that's no good. He says, obverse film, PVC, question mark. Interesting. That is an interesting response. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in on this guy and look and see do we see film on the coin? I don't know if I see. I mean, I guess if you're really looking for it, but this is where you get into the what's good film versus bad film, and I guess this would be bad film. But I am a little puzzled on this one, so we're going to have to come back and look at this one in more depth later, because that one's a little bit of a puzzler. I don't really see film. I mean, I guess if you really kind of look at it off angle, it's missing a little bit, but is that bad enough to give it a no CAC? I guess the answer is it is bad enough to give it a no CAC. So we've learned something. Keep your eyes open for not happy film, and that is unhappy film on that one. Okay. Next on the agenda is Rattler 1905 in MS61 red brown. Nick, I think this is your coin because I know I would never buy a MS61. Sorry, but it's a Rattler, so what are you going to do? And it's also an MS61, which is not a terrible. I mean that's a pretty low standard for an MS61. I think John is going to say he does not like this coin, probably because it's a little splotchy on the reverse, and that's my guess. But what do I know? Okay, I'm gonna pretend I just didn't say that. Let's go back. Hold on. I'm gonna re-edit because I just pulled the coin out of the thing. Oh man, look at this! Look at this gorgeous 1905 and MS61. Oh man, wow, that coin is like beautiful. Yeah, that's like that coin is like absolutely spectacular. I mean, that is definitely what I originally said when I looked at this coin. That coin is absolutely spectacular. There is no chance whatsoever that I had any doubts about this coin. I promise you. Absolutely. Yep, for sure. Let's go to the coin cam and see how we did on the MS61. Oh my God! I was very wrong on my initial assessment on this coin. Nick, that was a good shot on this coin. John Albanese said this is way better than an MS61. No film in sight. Clearly at least an MS62, but I guess no film, nice luster, and that's really fun. So that is a nice coin, and that is a super win on that one. And the answer is buy more MS61 Indian Cent Rattlers that are severely undergraded. That's a kind of fun one. That's definitely fun. Okay, let's keep going. All right. Here's an 06 in 64 red. That's flashy and nice looking. OGH, beautiful looking coin. I like it. Little ticky. I think I saw a little line. There's a few little lines on this. There's a line above 1, but it's a 64. It's certainly Blazer. And there's that little line under states. 64 is the grade that can be allowable on that. So I could see this one either way. I could see this one going green, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna try not to make too many predictions. I'd rather just kind of pull the coins, show you the coins, and then go from there. All right, no obvious huge stickers, no gold sticker. So we get a nice green bean. So the answer is beautiful look. 64 is forgivable to have a few little ticks. The line on the reverse above 1 is acceptable, and the little line on the obverse below states is acceptable because it's an MS64, and that is okay on an MS64. That's a really important lesson to learn. 64s are not perfect. 70s are perfect, and so 64s are going to have flaws, and the question is, are the flaws so bad that they're going to be push the coin down to a lower grade? Grading is an art. Grading is an art. It's not a science. And we certainly have developed a scientific approach to it, but it is still an art, and you have to remember that it kind of goes for that. Okay. Next, we have an SVDB. I love my SVDBs. I love my nice, wholesome SVDBs. Here's a nice, wholesome 1909 SVDB in VF35. This has probably the level of wear that our Double Liberty had, so I think it's good. It's got a little sheen to it, but a nice sheen. I don't think that's a negative sheen. So I would vote yes on this one, and I think it's a very nice looking coin. I seem to have generally good luck with my SVDBs, but that means nothing in the grand scheme of things because luck always runs out. And the answer on this SVDB is looking good and another nice CAC sticker on a 1909 SVDB. I do seem to have a knack, as Cliff would point out, for finding these little key dates that are nice and that's lived in someone's collection are CAC worthy. So there we go. Another sticker for our 09 SVDB in VF35. All right, we're catching up a little bit. That gold made up for it, even though that wasn't my coin. So I will certainly take the win for my record on that, even though I didn't own it. Okay, 12S in 63 brown. That is a lot of luster and a lot of red for brown. I do like this coin. It's very pretty. It does have a nice look to it. Let's see if we can pull that over there. Yeah, like there's a lot of underlying red there for a brown coin. It is brown. I'm not going to argue that this is a red-brown coin, but nice OGH, nice solid coin. I am a yes on this coin. It's very pretty, and I like it. So, oh, wow, look at this. I really did like it, and this is mine, so that's cool. That is a nice one. So that is particularly nice for a 63 brown. So second gold CAC of the night. This being now my third gold CAC that I have ever made. I have never, I don't have a ton of luck with my own coins. I have a lot of luck with sending coins for other people. But that is a really nice one. And John, I think, would agree that that is a very, very strong coin. So there we go. Gold sticker for the 12S. There we go. Good. That's nice. That's a fun one. All right, here's a 14D in also VF35. Let's compare this to our 1909 SVDB that we just saw. I like the surfaces a little less. There's a little more of that dark light look, which could indicate problem. I think I have to vote no on this one. This has that same look of discoloration that the 1798 had, and I think I have to vote no on this one. I've sent it because it's a 14D, but I think I'm gonna have to vote. I think I'm gonna have to vote no on the 14D, and the answer on the 14D is no obvious big stickers. So maybe I was wrong, and I was wrong. That's nice. Okay. So turns out in VF on a 1914D key date, we can be a little forgiving on the surfaces. So that's good. Pause for 1 second. I'm going to see if I can zoom in and get this thing to autofocus. There's our autofocus. And wow, that slab got all nasty. Okay, there we go. So it's got a little wear, and it does have a little bit of discoloration on it, but not so much. The reverse I like less than the obverse on this one. But I guess it's allowable. And so John's forgiving on this one. So there we go. I voted no, and this is why we sometimes send coins that are borderline, because sometimes you get surprised in the affirmative. So there we go. 14D surprised us in the affirmative. Next, we have an 18S. Let's see if we can do it again on the 18S. That one's got that little spot on his head. So this is also a 63 brown. Very similar look to that 12S. I think similar look. I would guess without the spot, I would see this coin going gold again, similar to that 12S. With that spot over his head, I think I'm going to guess green sticker. 63 is forgivable on that one. So that's my goal. And let's go to CoinCam. The answer on this one is a red sticker. John didn't like it. He's going to call environmental damage on that. And he's going to saw a spot with scratch. Oh, I didn't notice the scratch. There's certainly a scratch on the holder. But I guess the spot had a scratch or is covering the scratch or something. Let's zoom in on this. Let's take a closer look on this one. I think we could learn on something here. Yeah, I didn't catch that. There is a little scratch under that spot. And it looks like maybe somebody put something there to hide the scratch. That's interesting. So that one is, or maybe that's a natural spot, but the scratch is there. I don't know, but I didn't catch that when I initially sent it, and I agree that is not a CAC-worthy coin, and I think that's totally fair. So nice call on that one. I think that's very reasonable. We've got a 22 no D, strong reverse, VF30. These are very tricky coins to grade. Also, it's a terribly scratchy slab. I should get this reholdered because there was so much die polish on the obverse that you can't grade these coins by the obverse. So the lesson on these is you always got to grade them by the reverse, and that is a very strong reverse with a very similar look to that 14D. You know, these coins come tough. I don't love them. I'm going to vote no on this one, but I could see this one going either way. So we'll see what we have to see this one. And the answer on the 22 no D is he liked it. So there we go. So this was another one. Liner wasn't the best looking one that I've ever seen, but certainly good enough to make the grade for a solid VF30. And we'll see if I can force my, there we go. Once we zoom in, the camera does look. So, you know, obverse looking, you know, fine, if that, but that's just how they all look. Reverse looking very VF with very sharpness, even though probably some type of mild environmental or something, but again, good enough on CAC. So that's a win on the 22 no D. All right, goes on the win pile. That's good. Goes on the win pile. Next, we have an 1872 2-cent piece in fine 12. I don't do a lot of 2-cent pieces, but this is a nice one. I think this is a slightly better date, if I remember correctly. Little weak on the reverse, but overall, very pleasing look on the coin. Got a little, you know, little crud on the edges. Overall, a very pleasing looking coin, and freshly reholdered. I bought it in a very scratched up mess holder, and so we reholdered this one. So let's see how we do on this on this 2-cent piece. This one got a red sticker, and the answer on this one is too much wear. Yeah, that was my fear, I think, as I was thinking it. It's beautiful, but it's got a nice even look to it. This is one where it wins on surfaces, but we'd want to see this with a little bit more detail to make it on a fine 12. So and I think that's what it is. So let's see, I'll be able to zoom in on the reverse here. So yeah, you can see there's just a lot of wear on this one. PCGS was a little aggressive on their fine 12. So fair enough. Can't argue on that one. That is a totally reasonable. Next on the agenda this evening is a 3-legger, 1937D 3-legger in VF20. I'll tell you a story about this coin after we take a look and see what John says on it. It's got a little hit on the chin, but it's a VF. Overall, very pleasing looking coin. I like it. I like 37Ds. I like 3-leggers. This is a decent looking one. So standards aren't too high for a VF, but freshly graded coin, and I like it. So let's see what we have to say on this one. Answer on the 37D 3-legger is a sticker. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let me tell you the story in this one. It was kind of fun. Bought this coin raw from a dealer buddy of mine, and it was kind of green. And he said, yeah, I tried to acetone it, and it didn't come off. So I'm giving up, and I'm going to sell it to you. I said, okay. And I learned something new on this one. And this was taught to me by a friend of mine who is very smart with this stuff. He said, look, you gotta don't be too worried about the Q-tips on stuff like this. You know, with a coin like this that has PVC damage to it or PVC coating on it, soaking it in acetone isn't enough. You have to like get in there with the Q-tip. So I did it. I mean, I literally, you know, I used a little bit of elbow grease with the acetone and the Q-tip. That PVC came right off the coin. It looked beautiful. That is what we would call conserving a coin, not cleaning a coin. And we didn't, you know, we brought it back to what the coin looked like before it was stored in a PVC flip for too long. And got it graded with PCGS and now got a CAC sticker on it. So that is your lesson on proper conservation of coins. All right, so a 38D, that's a nice Rattler. We know what happens with 38Ds in Rattlers. I think this might be Paul's coin. I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure I didn't own this one. So, you know, we'll see. Or maybe it's Nick's. I don't know whose coins these are. But very pretty coin. It's got the flash. It's got the look to it. This coin is one of those that either it golds or it doesn't. That's the answer. So let's go and see how this one did. And the answer is, we did not get a gold sticker, which means that we wasted our money sending it off to CAC. So the answer is a green sticker on the 38D, but we were, in the rare instance, this is not why we were aiming for this coin. We were aiming to get a gold. It is flashy. It's got a really nice look to it for a 64, but John said, nope, not in the mood. I've given you too many golds tonight. You get no further golds. That is the answer on that one. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Here's a 37 Buffalo nickel in proof 64. That's a pretty nice looking 64. This was part of a group of coins that I bought in Annex, like new Annex holders. And I bought them because I said, you know, these are actually remarkably nice, you know, it's a whole proof set. There's a whole 37 proof set in new Annex holders. I think I did not send them all in. I think, you know, a couple of they all came back 4s and 5s or whatever. The Buffalo and the Walker were the only ones that were worth doing. So, but we'll see what we have to say. I like it. It's got a nice look to it. Proof 64 is a very, very reasonable grade for the coin. And the answer is, it is not a gold sticker, but it's a nice proof 64. I mean, I have to be honest. I think this is a very nice proof 64. I think this coin has a superb look for a 64. You would expect, you know, dark or splotchy or problematic or hairlines. And yeah, there's the typical, if you look on the reverse, there's that typical, by the way, here's my autofocus working way better now. I should have fixed that earlier. You can see there's a little bit of the haze. This coin had some wipe. That's why it's a 64. But it had what we would call, you know, the proof wipe. It did not have the harsh cleaning that gave it hairlines. A lot of proofs were cleaned. People would, you know, blow on them like you do your eyeglasses, and this coin made it into a proof 64. So we did get a green sticker on that one. Next we have a 20-cent piece, a 75cc 20-cent piece. Man, love these. Looking at this coin, I mean, again, here's some seated coinage. Again, this is a liner for me. I think he's so tough on seated. It has a very, very nice look to it. Do I think it's a CAC-worthy coin? Looking at it on this video, I think I'm going to probably guess no. I think, let's take another look at it again. You know, the standards for seated is really tough. And we got to get it really, really, really well. Got to really nail it. I think I would probably say there's a little halo that you can see over there, just over her shoulder. So if I'm being super picky, I'm going to say probably old cleaning and some hairlines on this one. Does that make this coin not a coin that I would want to own? Absolutely not. I love this coin and I'm very, very happy to own it, but doesn't quite make, I think, CAC. And then watch, it's going to get a gold sticker. So we'll see. We'll see. Answer on the seated 1875 CC is Noah is too harsh on coins. That is the answer on that one. So I didn't like that shadow. I thought that might have been an old cleaning or hairlines. I mean, I do kind of even see hairlines at this angle, but the answer is John says, man, it's a nice looking 75cc 20-cent piece. So we got a green sticker, proving once again I do not know anything about coins. And here we are, none of us do. We're all just playing the game. Also, no full liberty, but I guess seated is a little bit more forgiving. So there's the answer. No liberty. The win pile has grown a little bit, so that's all right. Look at this one. 1805. Sorry, terrible slab. 1805 Draped bust quarter. Very original looking. It's got those rubber band marks on them. Does that matter in a good 6? Look at that Cirque cam look. Delightful. Again, I don't know whether John's going to complain. I mean, that might be the slab's too messy. It may be that the coin has an old cleaning, but certainly a pleasant looking coin. So, you're never wrong to bet no on a coin like this, but does have a really nice look to it. And we're going to get our first green sticker on a Draped bust coin for the night. Hells yeah. Very original. Beautiful. And again, let's not be too harsh. It's got a little bit of the darkness, but that it makes up for it. Eye appeal and originality, and it's only a good 6. So here we go with our very, very first CAC Draped bust coinage of the night. Makes me very happy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love that. Great, great, great. Not a hugely expensive coin, but just dope. Okay, dope, dope, dope. Next on the agenda, 1832 quarter in VF20. Very nice original look to it. That's got a nice look to it. It's got a little bit of darkness on the bottom, a little splotchy, but overall a very pleasing look to it. So it's got a nice looking coin. Nice, very eye appealing coin. I like it. Technically, I'm not going to try to make any predictions. We'll just dive in and see what John says on it. But certainly some nice eye appeal on that one. And the answer on this one is CAC sticker on that one. That's real pretty. Look at that. That is a very, very nice looking coin. 1832 VF20. Nice eye appeal. Little darkness down there, but overall an incredibly appealing coin. So that's a nice little win. I like that one. That is nice. Nice, nice, and nice. Look at this 1876. Look at this 1876. This is a coin. This is like one of these controversial coins, right? This is a coin that John may or may not sticker. It's very bright for an 1876 quarter. I'm not going to predict. It may have been old dipped. It may have been retoned. But man, in terms of like would I want to own this coin? Flashiness. Oh, look at that. Look at the luster. It's got a bunch of marks on it, but it's a Rattler and it's a seated quarter in a Rattler. Oh, wow. It's just delightful. Let's go and see what the verdict on this one is. Ooh, that's a positive sign. Let's see. Sneakily put a red sticker on here. But yeah, look at that. That is just delightful. That is my favorite coin of the night so far. Nice MS62. Nice flashy coin in a Rattler. Oof. Beautiful. Like that coin. Great. Absolutely great. Absolutely terrific. Okay. Having some nice wins tonight. The win pile is bigger than the lose pile tonight, and that is what we like to hear. That concludes the first box of coins for this evening. So let's stick box number 1 away, and let's move into box number 2. That was a fun one. All right, Nick, this is your coin. This I know is yours because I wouldn't buy a Washington quarter. Man, that is really pretty and really blue, and I kind of feel like this coin is one of those coins that would go 68 if it got into the right holder. It's in a 66 holder. John may complain about the look, but man, if that doesn't have the 68 look, I don't know, man. I don't know. That coin has a look to it. That has a look to it. Let's see what we have to say on that. Oh no, not a gold sticker. I was kind of bummed. I thought this might be a gold sticker. So, all right. So now we're into the zone. It's like door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. So it's definitely not a gold, and we can't see whether there's any marks. So do we think it might mean that he sees something and he's going to call it PVC? I kind of thought it was a guaranteed gold too. Or the thing fell off and it is a gold. The answer is, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, just a green sticker. That is, I got to be honest, a little disappointed. I kind of just thought this was like a lock gold. If this is anything that has that look, like I could see this coin making a 67 plus or a 68 at PCGS. So, Nick, you might have to crack this coin out and try this for a 7 plus or an 8 because, man, that is fire. Bummer. Sorry about that. That is a bummer because that thing was like, that is fire. That's an 1806/5 in VF20. That's much nicer. Much, much nicer. I like this one. That has a nice Cirque cam look and nice Cirque cam look to it. Nice reverse. 1806/5. What do you guys think? I like this one. I think this one's got a good look to it. It's a little bright on the reverse. You know, you can't predict what John's going to do on Draped bust coinage. So answer on 1806 over 5. Ooh, that's a positive sign. Oh, yeah. There we go. Second CAC drape bust piece of drape bust coinage for the evening. Love that. Beautiful look to it. Great, great, great. And now we have an 1810 capped bust half in VF. It's got a nice dirty crusty look to it. I do like the crusty look on some of these coins. That is like a nice crusty look to it. Nice reverse. Very original look to it. That coin lived that coin lived its life to the fullest, and nobody cleaned it or messed with it or did anything to it. Now, you know, is John going to like it enough to sticker it? But man, it is a pretty looking coin. And the answer is yes. Nice coin on a VF35. This is the definition of originality. Nice eye appeal, nice crust to it. Beautiful looking coin, early cap bust half. So that is a very, very pleasant looking one, and one that I'm very, very happy to have on this. Great. All right, good. Yeah, we're doing all right. Look at this 1827 square base 2 XF45. Super nice. Oh, look at that underlying luster. Is this one? Nice underlying luster on that coin. That is a very, 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 very pretty looking coin. Love the eye appeal on this. It's got a little bit of darkness, but it's got real, true underlying luster under there. And I can see it. And certainly the eye appeal is off the charts on that one. So I very, very much like the coin. And of course, because I like the coin, John doesn't. And the answer on this one is environmental damage. Okay, so this is one where I'm going to respectfully disagree. I understand where he's coming from. It's dark. It's got a little bit of darkness to it, but certainly, I mean, look at the eye appeal on that coin. Look at the look of it. I just think it is absolutely beautiful. So this is the first coin where I understand why this doesn't make CAC standards, but this is a coin that I feel I would own this in my collection any day of the week. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Doesn't make the CAC standards grade, but that's okay. All right, next is a 1854 Arrows. Nice XF45 seated half. Beautiful. Look at that look to it. Very another crusty original. Lovely, lovely, lovely looking coin. Just love stuff like this. Love coins that look like this, whether they sticker or not. Just love that originality on stuff like this. Full Liberty. You better have full Liberty for an XF45. So it's got a very, very nice look to it. And the answer on that seated half is a CAC sticker. Beautiful looking coin. Yeah, that is just absolutely great. Just what you want to see on a CAC seated piece of seated. So the yes pile continues to grow. Very, very happy with our yes pile. And here's a coin that probably won't sticker. It's very bright. It's a mint state coin. I think I probably would not sticker it. I'm looking at it, but again, you got to try. You never know. It's an MS63, but this is a little too dippy. Now, very retail friendly coin. Very, very, a collector will absolutely fall in love with this coin. It will look delightful in a collection. It's white. It's flashy. I personally don't think that has the look that CAC's going to want to see. So he's probably going to say over dipped, but maybe he says not. And the answer is obverse friction. That's not what I would have guessed. I would have guessed it's the over dipping look to it. But I guess there is obverse friction, and we'll have to really get in there. And I do not doubt that it's there. I'm sure it's there. Yeah, a little bit of friction on the leg there. I would have guessed that, just sort of too bright, over dippy, but I guess the answer is obverse friction on that one. So it failed, not for the reason that I expected it to fail, but it failed, which is interesting. Okay, so next on the agenda on this one is another one from that proof set. Here's a 37 Walker in proof 65. I think the whole proof set was graded 64, and I got a little bump on this one with the PCGS. Again, very original, nice look to it. Has a little bit of that proof set brown to it, which is nice and original. I honestly, I look at this coin, I'm not sure how to. I'm bad at grading proofs like this. Like I could see this in a proof 68 holder, and I'm not good. I know the areas where I'm bad. I certainly like the look of it. So it certainly has a nice look for a proof 65. And the answer is it is worthy of a sticker in a Proof 65. So that 37 proof set worked out pretty well. You know, it's got a really nice original look to it. I think I like the way I like the way the coin looks. I can't argue with it. And I could also, if you told me that this was a Proof 67, I probably would not disagree with you. I'd say, yeah, looks pretty proof and really nice. But I guess Cliff says mirror is a bit lacking. So we'd want to see deeper, richer mirrors to get that one in a higher grade. Fair enough. Oh, look at this coin. Let's just savor this Draped bust dollar for a second. 1798. Look at the look on that coin. Ugh. Sure, John will find a reason not to sticker this coin, but man, that is just VF25, large eagle, little bit of that crust on it. I hope we're on a roll with Draped bust because I need to resupply on some nice CAC Draped bust dollars. I haven't had one in a little bit. Little scratch on the reverse above the arrows, but overall, man, what a nice look to that coin. So I will be disappointed if this doesn't sticker, but man, does that have a nice look to it. And again, a coin I'm happy and honored to own. And the answer, looking good so far. Yeah, that's the first CAC Draped bust dollar I've had in a while, and that is just spectacular. That is just delightful. That is pretty much kind of perfect. I might have to keep this. Might keep it for myself. No, I'm not going to keep it for myself. I'm not crazy. I'm in the business to sell coins, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. But man, I'm kind of tempted to keep it. That coin is hot. Delicious. Eat that coin with some sauerkraut, side of mustard, maybe a little barbecue sauce. All right, here's the seated dollar. 1843, XF45. Very original, nice crusty look to it. You know, I'm one of these coins I could probably come up with reasons to. Oh, there's a big scratch there. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I think I did catch it as I was filming it, and then I was like, ooh, it's really nice, and then I caught that scratch. So probably a no CAC because of that friction scuff. But other than that, very nice look to it. It's just great look to it. But again, you know, we got to learn. We're learning. Don't make predictions because predictions are end up teaching you things. Because the answer is I don't see any big marks, and I certainly don't see a big sticker pointing at that scratch. So he liked it despite the scuff. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm not gonna make any more predictions. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ugh, beautiful coin. Look at that. Look at that CAC seated dollar. Price this coin $10 million. 10 million US dollars. I'll trade Elite for his 1804 dollar for that coin. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll trade him for his 1804 dollar. It's delightful. That was fun. Okay, yeah. Listen, I don't know anything at any point. This is impossible. All right, here's the 79S in 67. Morgan dollars. Who doesn't love some Morgan dollars? Let's look at Morgan dollars, everybody. Let's look at some Morgan dollars. 79S, flashy, 67. Kind of got some originality to it. Doesn't look like it was dipped to hell and back, but I don't know. 79S Morgan dollar in 7. Is it 7 CAC? It is 7 CAC. That's pretty baller. That's kind of fun. Look at that, like blinding the camera, blowing out the lights on the camera. Very original look to it. I think this is a coin that, you know, I could see someone have acetoned or PV, you know, taken off any of those marks or blotches. And this is like, you know, an unk coin, but it actually earned a little bit of grime over its 100 some odd years. So a beautiful looking coin. And now we have a CAC sticker on that one. So we're doing all right tonight. This run is moving pretty well. It's really one coin I actually really care about coming up. We'll get there very shortly. But I mean, I care about all these beautiful coins. They're all my babies. I love them. 85cc and a 63 in a Rattler. Not a bad 63, I gotta tell you. Pretty darn good for a 63, actually. I've seen far choppier, far worse 63s. 85cc, one of the better Carson City dates. I think we learned that it's actually the lowest mintage, or one of the lowest mintage Carson Cities, despite the fact that it's not the most valuable. I think Survival obviously is not, but it's one of the lower mintage ones. So very nice looking coin, and a Rattler to boot. So 85cc in a Rattler. I gotta move my yes pile over because it's in the way. 85cc in a Rattler, and that is a CAC-worthy coin. It somehow flipped upside down. So whoop, there it is, CAC-worthy coin. Good thing about a Rattler, you can rattle it back into proper form. So there we go. There's our 85cc in a Rattler with a positive result. Great. Great, great, great. All right, next. Ooh, a Doily. Look at that. I bought a Doily. I didn't even remember I bought a Doily. This is an 85.0, an MS63, and a Doily. Doilies are fun. Doilies are less exciting. This is a coin that we buy not for the coin, we buy for the plastic, and for the actually not even for the plastic. We buy for the label in the plastic. But yeah, you gotta send a Doily to John and see what we get on the Doily. And the Doily gets a green CAC sticker, and I'm gonna sell this coin for exactly the same amount that I would have sold it without the CAC sticker, because in this rare case, all we're selling is this fancy little label here. So it's a Morgan dollar and a Doily, and looks good, and kind of a fun little coin. And we'll keep that. So that's a nice little run there. So next we have got a 85.0 in 4 deep mirrors. CAC very, very picky about their mirrors on these coins. Overall, see a little bit of friction. I pointed it out there. I think I noticed this. Sometimes I notice these coins, they look a little different when I actually pull them under the camera and under the lights here, and they actually look different than when you look under a grading light. And I pull, I can see things like friction like that. So I'm going to probably guess no because of that friction. Even though the mirrors are nice, the cheek is nice, and the overall coin is nice. It's definitely a deep mirror, but I think that's a little wipe, as Nick pointed out on the left obverse. So wipe on the left obverse most likely, but we will go and take a look and see what he says on the 85.0 in deep mirrors. Nope, no wipe problem on the left obverse field. But well, sorry, let me be super clear. There is a wipe on the left obverse field on this coin. There is some friction there. We looked at it. There, you can see it right there. But CAC said that doesn't matter. It's okay. Still CAC-worthy coin. So we have to speak in facts. There is a wipe there, or there is some kind of thing there. But the answer is worthy of a sticker. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you sometimes send coins that you might not necessarily think are sticker worthy, because now it's a CAC deep mirror proof like, and those are better than non-CAC deep mirror proof like. 87S in 64. 87S, one of those dates when you start to learn about Morgan dollars, that 80S, 81S, 82S, very, very common. Everything after that, less common. They didn't really sit in any bags. So higher grade S mints after 82 start to get fun. 87S, not as crazy as like the 84S. This would be a very, very valuable coin if this were an 84S and a 64, but it's an 87S and a 64. And the 87S in a 64 is sticker worthy, a nice looking coin, and you know, it's kind of cool. Yeah, so I guess Morgan dollars get a pass. So yes on the 87S in 64. Okay, next on the agenda, we're getting down to it, folks. Only a few more left. Here's an 89cc in a 12. You know, F12 being a lower grade on these, they are more forgiving. I have seen some coins that are a little brighter than you might like. This, I could go either way. I could say it's a fine 12 and it's got a lot of meat. I could also say old cleaning that is not enough. So this is literally one of these that I kind of see this going either way, which is a cop-out answer. But nonetheless, that's what I see. And John's response is a red sticker, and he's going to say, little too wipey. Oh, no, it's the rim bump at 5 o'clock he doesn't like. Wow, that is surprising. Reverse rim bump, 5 o'clock. Oh, yeah, there is definitely a reverse rim bump. Look at that. That does not bother me at all, but I guess if you really stand out and look at it here, and there's enough of these out there that don't have rim bumps, but that really doesn't bother me at all. It did not impact the denticles really. I guess it did move the coin a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. That's you didn't like it for that reason. I don't think that should prevent somebody from necessarily putting it in their collection, but a delightful looking coin regardless. Dan was 40-60. I was at 50-50. Okay. Oh, Nick says there is a hole on the edge that I probably didn't look closely enough. Let's look. Is there a hole on the edge of this coin? Oh yeah, look at that. There is a hole on the edge of this coin. Thanks, Nick. Good. This is why we have the edge view. That is more than a bump. That is like somebody, I don't know what they did on that one. Wow. Good spotting that, Nick. I glossed over that a little too quickly. But yeah, that is not a bump. That is like someone fired a shotgun shell at that. So there's the answer on that. Okay. Cool. Learning every day. Here's an 89cc in 20. Slightly higher grade. No shotgun shells fired. But, little, some hairlines there. Surfaces are kind of 50-50 on this one. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I would be... I'm going to cop out on this one and say I can't make a call on this one. So that is one of the ones that I'm going to kind of say I can't really make a call on this one. And the answer on this one is also a negative, and the reason is cleaned. That's it. So fine coin, VF20, but old cleaning that toned over a little bit, that doesn't have that kind of super original look that you want to see. So I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. 89cc's being higher mintage than the 85cc, but still one of the key dates of the Carson City series. And here's a 93p in AU53. Very original coin. Like the look of this a lot. That is like super, super nice. Real original luster in there, and not dipped, not processed. So this is a very pretty coin. I like AU53 as the grade. I think it's a reasonable grade, and I would probably vote yes on this coin in AU53. And the answer is a CAC-worthy AU53. 1893 being one of the better dates across everything. There was this financial crisis that happened in 1893, and they lowered the mintage on all the coins, which is why the 93p is tough, the 93cc is tough, and the 93s, of course, being the key date of the Morgan Dollar series. But 93ps were still tough coins. So a nice looking one and a very original look to it. Definitely pleased with the 93p. So that's cool. Okay. And we have, after the 93p, we're coming down to the end of this box. We have a 93cc. Speaking of 93s, little whiskers she's got there. Nice look to it. Love the look of it. She's got a few little whispers. It's a VF30. Looks a little cleaned on the reverse. I think probably, again, this was a liner coin. I think I'd probably lean no on this one, given the little whiskers and given the cleaning on the reverse. But certainly the obverse has a super nice look to it. So I think my lean is no on that one. But again, I could see it going either way. And the 93cc is acceptable in the VF30. So, I would say this. I would look at this and probably kind of lean old cleaning on this. You can kind of see there's some brightness to the reverse. The obverse does not have that same level of brightness. The whiskers, again, it's a VF, doesn't matter. It's not a deep hit, just like a light scratch. Very eye-appealing looking coin. And so this was a liner for me, but worthy. So sticker worthy on that one. All right, and the last of this box before we start getting into the fancier level stuff is a 95.0 in AU55. Very, very nice looking coin. 95.0 being one of the better New Orleans dates. And this one has a very nice look to it. I see not a lot of wear. I see no major hits, no problems. I see nice original luster, a nice original look to it. And I would say that would make the grade for me. Probably a sure shot in an AU53. I think given the pop and the luster, I could see it in an AU55. And so I like it as an AU55. And the answer on this one in AU55 is a yes, 95.0 being a tougher coin. And that is a nice one to make that in an AU55. So a beautiful looking coin, and certainly lovely with a CAC sticker on it. So that's great. Okay. So that is the next box out of the way. Now we're going to get into some of the more fun stuff. Let's do it. All right. So first piece of gold for the evening. 1851 gold dollar. Teeny tiny little coin in MS63. A few little ticks on the coin, but otherwise a very, very, very appealing looking coin in a nice one of the old light blue holders. A little more ticky on the obverse than the reverse, but again, I don't know how to grade gold for John's approval. It definitely has a little bit of tickies on it. Is that too many little tickies for a CAC 63, or is it acceptable? And we will find out very shortly. The answer is, at least initially, we think it is not acceptable, and he didn't give me any feedback. Womp womp, that's a bummer. So maybe we just didn't get feedback on this batch. Maybe we just didn't get feedback on this batch. But the answer is not CAC worthy on a 63, which is a little bit of a bummer. So, all right. So that's the answer on that one. All right. Here's an 1854, also in an MS63. And this one has less friction, less noise than the than the other one. I think this one probably I would be better at on the 63. Nice luster, good strike, good everything. So that one I think I'm okay with on this one, on the $1854 in a 63. I kind of agree with that last one. That was a 62. So let's take a look and see what we have on the $1854 in 63. The answer on this one is this one makes the grade. So that's what you want to see on a 63. We can get in tight on that. You can see just not a lot of noise going on in the field, little bit, but not a lot going on, an overall look to it. So very, very pretty, nice look on a 63 on that coin. So great, excellent coin. Excellent, excellent. That's good. All right. Next piece of gold for us, a proof. Kind of a weird proof, right? Proof 61. What a strange grade for this coin. We bought it because it's just, it's priced reasonably and it's kind of a neat coin. But wow, Proof 61 you don't see very often. So 1906, super rare coin. So one of you guys can look up the mintage on a 2.5. I mean, I think all of these are in the hundreds on the mintages. So I didn't love the coin, but this is sometimes you just make business decisions that you're like, it's a piece of proof gold, it's priced reasonably, and you just got to give it a shot. So we sent it to CAC to see what he had to say on that one, and we might not get any feedback. I think I'm probably going to lean no on it, but the answer is negative and no feedback on the Proof 61. So I think the answer is, if I had to guess on this one, is probably just a little too much friction and not enough mirrors on it. It's kind of like a net grade. It sort of seems like it's a little bit of a slightly tire looking coin. So not what we want to see in a proof. And we'll move on to the next coin in the agenda, which is an 1857 $3 in AU50. Which is an interesting coin. AU50 is a little bit of a weird grade. I think this coin came in, I remember, okay. So this coin came in with a bunch of coins we're about to run through next, which you guys are going to be super excited by. Very, very fresh deal of raw coins that just came in. This was one of the gold coins in the deal. So I got it slabbed and I had to send it off. It's an AU50. So it's not a problematic coin. It's got a little friction to it, but overall a really nice look to it. So let's go back and look and see how we did on the 1857 in AU50. And the answer on this one is, we got a green sticker on that one. That's very, very nice. So we can analyze this coin as we're taking a look on it. It's got, it's got friction. It's got real wear on it, but there's originality underneath it. So I guess the answer is there's, the coin has got wear. It's got real friction. I mean, this is a coin that actually saw some commerce and made its way out in the world and then came back and got pocketed at that point. So there we go. So CAC sticker on the 1857 $3. All right, and the last coin in this first batch, this batch of gold, before we move on to the fun $50 that we're going to look at tonight, which I'm really excited about, is a fun Norse. Norse medals are, Norse in 66. I love these coins. They're just weird. Like, it's a metal. I see I didn't even get metal alignment right. It's just like a super weird coin. I mean, how can you say no to an octagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, octagonal. That's right. Gotta make sure to get that right. How can you say no to an octagonal coin? It's a metal. It's part of the classic Commem set. And they're just cool. So I kind of love Norses. They're fun. Is that a 66? I don't know how to grade Norses. I'm not even going to probably try to guess on that one. So we're not getting feedback. So the answer on the Norse is A left CAC sticker on the Norse medal in 66. That's fun. And we got a left CAC, the rare left CAC sticker. So that's good. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Good. Go to the Norse. Okay, let's move into some excessively fun stuff now. So let me tell you the story on this thing. This was a group of coins that we bought. Came directly from an old collector. We bought them all raw, all $50, all raw, and super original, right out of the album, directly to PCGS and directly to CAC. So never been slabbed before. We've ruined them by putting them all on a slab, and that's the answer. So we're gonna start with the first coin in this group, bunch of cap busts. The first one is, and by the way, I just want to point out something interesting on this thing. I specifically told John, I did actually say, this is a fresh deal of coins that came from directly from an old collector to PCGS to you. I think that means something. It's not, it's either all serial number order for the most part. You know, we order them a little differently, but I'm hoping that kind of helped us get where we need to get on these. So let's start with the 1795 flowing hair $50. It's got those friction marks on it from being in an album, but it doesn't have a lot of other problems on it. It doesn't have enough cleaning. It's got a slightly weak reverse, and it's a VG. I mean, look at that's a lot of meat for a VG. Let's go back and look at that for 1 second. So a lot of meat. I mean, there is that friction, but like look at that. You can see the strands in the hair, and on a VG, that's pretty great. So I'm going to vote yes on this one, especially considering it's part of this deal. So let's get the deal started. Let's see how we did. The answer on this one is flowing hair with a CAC sticker, fresh from the old deal. Love it. Absolutely love it. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, that's a really nice look on the on a VG. So VG8 CAC, beautiful. Getting started. I'm gonna make our yes no pile right here. Keep that one in frame because we love flowing hair. So that's great. Okay, so flowing hair, coin number one. Next coin in the deal, 1812 in AU53. Again, this coin came directly from an album to PCGS to CAC. So very, very nice, super original look to it, and a lot of real luster in there. Little cleany, like I'm gonna say it's definitely got a little bit of a cleany look to it. So I could see this one not stickering, but you know, I don't know. Let's see. So 1812, answer on the 1812. Oh, that's a good sign. 1812, yes, 1812 and AU53 with a sticker. Beautiful. It's a little bright. I agree. It's a little bright, but it's original and lovely. Okay, 1812. That's good. All right, next. Let's see what we got. That is a 1811.7. Sorry, 1817, but it's a punctuated date, which interestingly is marked as an 181.7 on the PCGS holder. Tough coin. The punctuated date is a tough one. Certainly a very, very tough coin. So again, came out of the album directly to PCGS, and it's an XF45. So how do we do on the XF45 punctuated date? Answer on this one is good. By the way, clever CAC sticker placement. They wanted to keep the word punctuated, but they did not care about the word date. So they said, you know what, they didn't left CAC us. They just said punctuated. We don't need any more words than punctuated. Also the 181.7. So there's an original XF45 on the punctuated date. Beautiful. Okay. Let's do a full run on this one. Here's an 1817 in AU53. It's a little frictiony. I like this run of coins, but this one may be a little tough for me. It's an AU53. It's also got brightness. I think this might have to break the streak on the run on these coins. I'm gonna vote no on this one. I think this one has to break the streak. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. I sent the whole group, by the way. So and the answer is this one broke the streak. This one he said, sorry man, old cleaning. I gave you a lot on the previous ones. I gave you as much rope as I could on those previous ones. You hung yourself on this one. So too much friction on that one. Okay. At least we're back to getting comments again, so that's nice. Here's an 1819 in AU50. Very kind of halfway between the brightness of the previous one. Could go either way on that one. Very original looking coin. Well, it's got a little brightness on it. I don't know. I don't know on this one. My whole world is upside down now. Just can't make any more predictions. 1819. We're back, baby. That's right. Keep the streak going. AU50 on that one. There we go. Nick says, "Whoa, single leaf, WTF?" Yeah, I don't know my variety. So, all right, let's do it. Look at that. 1819. Beautiful. Back in action on that one. Great. Okay, let's see. I think this is the coin that you're gonna bug me over. Is this the... No, it's the 1825 and MS62. This is not the one that... What's the coin that I'm thinking of that has the great color? I've forgotten. Ethan, you'll remind me. Anyway, this is really nice. MS62. It's an Unk coin. It's an Unk cap bus half. That's pretty cool, huh? 200-year-old Unk coin. That's just great. I just love it. 200-year-old Unk coin. I don't know at this point. Can't make any predictions on this one. Answer is red sticker. He says old cleaning. Ha! Bummer on the Unk coin. This is where we're calling the old cleaning, but I guess there's hairlines in there that we'd probably see. I guess that's what we'd see. I don't know why we're calling this one old cleaning and not the other ones, but I don't know. Anyway, I like it, but not there. And then we have, after the 1825, we have three more. We have the 1827 square base 2 in AU58. Nice looking coin, gotta say. That is a pretty looking one. Very, very pretty one. Nice AU, nice surfaces, nice skin. Overall, like it. I like it. What do we say? John says, no more stickers for you. He says, cleaned. Interesting. Yeah, I guess if you look at this off angle, look at the off angle. See how the light falls on the coin at an off angle? It's got real luster and it is an AU58, but an off angle, you kind of have to say, that's kind of how it goes. So it's a bummer, but I like it. It's certainly a pretty one. And then the next one on this one, after the 1827 square base 2. Oh, this is the one that you liked, Ethan. This is the 1832 with nice kind of color, concentric color on that one. Also an AU58. It's got color. It's got rainbow on the obverse. You can kind of see it's a little less visible in this image, but you can see it in open light. And it's got some nice toning around the edges on the reverse. I wouldn't call this a toner. Like, I think it's got very subtle color. I think the light that I filmed this one in did not bring out the color as much as it is, but it is a very, very, very pretty coin, certainly. And that one is sticker worthy. Yeah, that's just really nice. I'm gonna try to get in here to see if you guys can see the color on this one. Yeah, this light doesn't bring out the color as much. You can kind of see that there is like rainbow color there. If you look at this under a grading light or not under harsh camera lights, you will see that there's some beautiful color on here. So crusty, beautiful, lovely coin. Lovely original coin. So nice run on these. I'm kind of happy with this. This is kind of a nice run. Yeah, kind of happy with this one. Nice run. All right. And finally, an 1836 lettered edge, also AU58. I don't know, I'm going to probably guess maybe a little cleaned. I see some hairlines on it. But this, again, we've seen these go either way. So I could see this coin go either way. So the last of this group is the AU58. And the answer on this one is a sticker on the last group in the AU58. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with the way this group came out. I think John was forgiving for the fact that this was a kind of group out of an old collection. He likes, CAC likes fresh coins and coins that are not, been around the block 100 times. These are the first time that he's ever seen these, and they're all together and they're all sort of grouped together. So it's a nice look. Great group. Really, really happy with that one. So that was a nice one. All right. Well, now we're going to get into some big boys. So we've got a couple big boys. You guys ready for some big boys? Now you've been sitting with me and going through all this stuff. Look at this first coin. Look at this 1806 half cent. Look at that. 64 red brown. This is one of those coins that look at the amount of red on that coin. Red brown is like a continuum of 5% to 95%, right? You could, red's got to be 95 or better. Brown is going to be, below. This is on the upper end of that continuum. There is so much red on this coin. I love it. And I think this is an example where the grade sometimes doesn't tell you that much about the coin. So a beautiful, beautiful 64 in a red brown. And I am a strong contender for a yes, and would be taken aback. I mean, there's a couple little spots. It's old copper, but man, that is so much red for an old piece of copper. So let's go take a look. Let's get into this. Let's see what we have to say about our first coin. And the answer is, a left CAC sticker to boot too. Absolutely spectacular. There is just so much red. By the way, I'd like to point out, I don't know if David, if you're watching this, Dragon coins. I bought this coin, and David's like, it's got that little spot down on the back, and it's got that spot on the thing. Yeah, whatever. Okay, David. Look how red this coin is, all right? Look how red this coin is. That is just amazing for a 64. Stunner. Love it. That takes front and center now. Coin is great. Coin is terrific. Okay, let's move on. We have more big boys in this group. Oh, there's some big boys in this group. We're coming up to some big coins. I'm so excited. That's a great one. Okay, next. Oh, this is Owen's coin. I'm so jealous. Look how sexy this coin is. Look at this. 1877/6 overdate. MS62, crusty, delightful. I want to own this coin. Look at there's a rainbow in the you can see the overdate. There's a rainbow around the edge. Man, that coin is just absolutely delightful. I'm sure it won't sticker because, whatever, seeded never stickers when I want it to, but I am totally in love with it. It is an absolutely beautiful coin. MS62, fully original. It's just like, seriously, yeah, it's just great. All right. Answer on the 77/6. Ooh, hope this got a sticker. Yeah, another left CAC. We're killing it with left CAC stickers tonight. Look at that. That is a delightful coin. That is a delightful coin. Nick says 101% CAC. And man, that is just like superb. Love it. Absolutely love it. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having a blast. This is great. Oh, look at this coin. 1795 flowing hair dollar. VF. Who could not love a VF? I don't think it's going to sticker. And here's why I don't think it's going to sticker. I think there's that little area that I just zoomed in on. That little thing, I think John's going to call that tooling. I think he's going to say he didn't like it. But man, it's still a $17.95 in a VF, and it's got a little rim bump too. Between those two things, I don't think it stickers. But I had to give it a shot. You got to give it a shot. You got to send a $17.95, a VF $17.95 into CAC to give it a try. So we got to try. Flowing hair dollar. Who doesn't love a flowing hair dollar? So fun. John says, no sticker for you. And he says, no sticker for you. Obverse rim, reverse old cleaning. Not the field. Didn't call out the field. Interesting. Rim bump. And then reverse is it's a little too bright on the reverse. Fair enough. Can't argue with him on that one. I'm a little less picky about rim bumps on it, but can't argue with him on this one. A lovely coin, but can't argue with him on that one. Didn't think that one would sticker, but kind of had to give it a shot. Okay, I don't even remember what's next. I do not even remember what's next. What is next? Dahlonega. Wow, I didn't even know I had this coin. Look at this, 1845 Dahlonega. See, this is why I love doing these CAC reveals. I sometimes forget the coins that I have here. It's 1845 Dahlonega 5. Look at that. Look how lovely that is. XF45, beautiful. It's got a nice look to it. Unlike many NGC coins, not bright and scrubby. Actually kind of pleasant looking. Is it an XF45? I don't know. Is it CAC worthy? I don't know. But I do like the coin. Ready? Dahlonega gold. CAC sticker. Dahlonega gold. I'm going to price this coin for $20 million. $20 million US dollars for an 1845 Dahlonega XF45. Oh, delightful. Kind of love it. Really great. All right, what's next? We're getting down to it. We got the big boys. We're getting into it. What's the next one I have here? This is a... I didn't even see the date. Hold on. Oh, it's an 01. It's an 01. Oh, this was a coin that's an 01 in 67. This was part of a big gold deal I got recently that I had to get reholdered because they called it an 01S. I don't think it really matters, but they got it wrong. And so it's a 67. It's a borderline 67. It's nice. But is it a CAC 67? I don't know. I like it. It's a nice looking coin. But I don't know how to grade high grade gold. Yeah, listen, I'll talk to you guys to the end of the days about 09 SVDBs and VF, but piece of gold in 67. Answer on this one, nope. Double sticker, red lights. John says high point not frosted. Well, now we're learning something. That is definitely not something that I had ever known about. High point not frosted. So the answer is, on a 67, he's going to want to see that frost all over the surface of the coin. And if the high point is not frosted, that means it just slid across the table at some point, and that took that little frost off. Not an AU. It's not putting it into an AU. But if it takes that frost off, then it's not going to be a CAC 67. Tough crowd on that one. But, yeah. Okay, let's get right to it. This is the single most coin that I can't even speak. This is the coin that I'm like the most nervous about. Yeah, and by the way, Cliff, he said a lot of film for a 66. Oh, it's a 67. So there you go. I'm nervous about this coin. Here's why. This coin was I can tell the whole story. This was an NGC MS65 CAC. MS65 CAC. So we sent it in to PCGS just to get it back in the 65 holder. I just wanted to do a crossover. And it came back at 64. Oh, man. Now, by the way, we're going to get this coin back in a 65 holder no matter what. PCGS, it sometimes takes a couple tries. This is how this works. It was an NGC 65 CAC. The question is, does it get a gold CAC? Because if it gets, we got to try it. Is John going to give it a gold CAC? This is that's a great question. Is it going to get a gold CAC? Because the 64 gold CAC, definitely better than a 65 CAC. A 64 green CAC, get the crackers right out. Coin's going to go back to PCGS. We'll try again for a 65. But I don't know. So I'm kind of nervous. So this one's going to be kind of fun. So does John, now, he has said himself, for any coin that is a grade and a half below, I'm not necessarily going to guarantee it a gold. It's got to have pizzazz. It's got to have pop. It's got to have oomph. It's got to have, zhuzh. This one, I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know what you think. My gut, I got to be honest, my gut says he's not going to gold sticker it. But I don't know, man. It would be really cool. Would be really, really cool if he did. Okay. The answer on this one is... Let's see what he says. Doesn't look like a gold to me. He wrote MK, checked in. That's Mickey. That's what I wrote. Not sure what PC was thinking here. Gold. And John says... just a green in a 64. Not worthy of a gold. I knew this was going to happen. That was my gut on this one. I was kind of excited, but that's a green. It's a bummer. It's all right. It's fine. Coin's going to get cracked out. We'll get back in a 65. We'll get it. Yeah, here we go. You can see it. 65 red brown, and then I actually even printed it out here as a 65 red brown CAC. But the answer is he did not think it was worthy of a gold. Womp, womp, womp. All right, well, that's too bad. But, it's part of the game. This is why we learn. It's kind of fun. We kind of... yeah, exactly. Nick says, laughing my ass off, what is this industry? That's a great question. What is this industry? I don't know, man. What is this industry? All right, look at this coin. 1810, $5 in MS62. That is a very pretty coin. That is a very pretty coin. By the way, it's got a lot of little noise on it, but again, it's only a 62. Man, that is just an insanely pretty coin. So And Dan says, I don't think he likes to give out golds on downwards arbitrage. By the way, I agree. I think like if they had 63'd it, I think he would have been forced to give it a gold sticker. But I agree with you. I don't think like the game of just get it in one grade holder and then get a guaranteed gold sticker. I kind of agree. That's why my gut was I thought that was a green sticker, not a gold. All right. But look at this 1810. That is a very, very, very pretty coin. I really like it. So we bought this coin at Central States. Yeah, I think we bought this coin at Central States. Absolutely beautiful coin. And what do we have to say about this? Signs are looking good. Signs are looking good. Oh, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. Paul, if you're watching, you picked this one out. Oh my God, that is just an absolute monster win on this one. That makes up for the downgrade on the other one. CAC early gold with a, oh, it's just great. It's good. I can retire. That's just absolutely beautiful. All right. And then I think this is the last coin for the night. I'm going to show you the last coin for the night, which is another really cool coin. I actually think this has no shot of stickering. I wanted to try it, but look at this one. Look at this 1810 in AU 55. Absolutely great. It's an AU. Let me tell you why I don't think it will sticker. We had to send it, obviously. It's an 1810 in AU. We didn't. I didn't think it'll sticker. Rim bump, top left, and then it's got a little hit on the reverse, which you will see right there to the left of S in States. But again, we got to try it. You know, you got to try. It's fresh. You know, we just got it certified by PCGS. But between the rim bump and the nick, I don't think we're gonna get it. But man, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, last coin of the night. Let's see what we have to say on this one. And the answer is, he gave me a yellow sticker, a yellow to match the gold, and he says rim damage obverse. Yep. That's the issue. If it didn't have that rim bump, this would have been a CAC stickered coin. So otherwise, beautiful, beautiful coin, really nice. But I do agree that the rim bump on the obverse is a little too much for it to be CAC worthy. Okay, but the 1810 makes up for it. So that's super awesome. All right, guys. Well, that is it. We ended up spending 90 minutes looking at coins tonight, and I hope you guys had a good time. Otherwise, thank you all for joining tonight. Thanks for sitting through. This was really, really, really fun, and I hope you guys had a good time with us tonight. And that's the news, and I am out of here.